So I am happy to have Jane Osterman with Blue Moon. She does estate sales, right?
Yes.
So I was wondering if we could just start with a little bit about Jane and how you arrived at Blue Moon.
Yeah,
What was your
absolutely.
path?
And thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
So I am a lifelong Chicagoan. I've got a husband, 3 boys, lived here my entire life. Started out in the corporate world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a CPA. I was in finance and public accounting, and then most recently 25 years with a big corporation. Most of you will know it, largest franchisee in the world. Had a lot of great experiences there. But was really feeling the need for a change and to find, while it was a wonderful career, really wanted to find something more fulfilling where I could help people, be more involved in my community. And, I feel very lucky because I was chatting with someone I used to work with, and she actually has a Blue Moon franchise in Naperville. Blue Moon is a franchise,
Okay.
which I can tell you more about, but was lucky to connect with her, and it just felt like it was checking all the boxes, and most importantly, being able to help people in times of need, times where they're stressed out, and that's what led me to it ultimately.
Oh, that's great, because we definitely need solid estate companies. I mean, there's a great need for it.
There is.
So what services? Because I know estate sales. So in my world, as I work with those who have been in their home 40, 50 years, sometimes it's just 20, but still a lot collects over 20 years. What they say estate, right? So they figure out where they're going. I try to have all of my sellers figure out where they're going because it's easier to let go of where you've been if you know where you're going.
Yes.
But that leaves behind a lot of personal property. So
It does.
Can you tell me a little bit about your services and, just, I don't know, share what your service is? Because I think it's more than that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we will start off with a free consultation with folks. And as you, I'm sure, are aware, this can be seniors, it can be any people downsizing for any reason. A lot of times it's people who are ready to, they're empty nesters, they're ready to leave their family home and either move down the street or to another state. But really, we can help people doing any kind of downsizing. It'll start with a free consultation where we help develop a personalized plan. I take a walk through the house, try to get a feel for what we're talking about. And honestly, we can help sell anything in the home, the entire contents of the homes, even automobiles, boats, jewelry, coins, everything. It's fascinating, really. But we can take that off everyone's hands and help them through that process. Then, if we decide that it's a good fit for both of us, then our work really gets started. We will bring in a team. We will organize everyone's belongings, or the family's belongings, and we really like to create an upscale shopping experience, more of a boutique experience. All lamps might be over here, all jewelry would be showcased over here. We bring in our own tables, black tablecloths. Again, really, making it a fun environment for the shoppers who are going to be coming in and, again, want that shopping experience.
Right, leveling up.
Exactly. Next, we have expert pricers on the team, so we price everything in the home. And for any unusual things that we may not be familiar with, I have a network of art appraisers, jewelers, even auctioneers, whoever it may be, to give us some guidance on the true value of something. Because, of course, while our goal is to sell everything, we're of course trying to help the homeowner in making as much money as possible.
Right.
Then the next step would be to advertise the sale. And we do that on estatesales.net. We can do that through social media. I have accounts, Blue Moon, and this is one of the great things about Blue Moon, and I guess I'll talk about them for a minute here. There's 150 locations around the country. And so they've had thousands of sales, thousands of, experts when it comes to that. And so not only is there a big network that I can ask questions, but a huge network to advertise the sales.
That was one of my questions.
Yeah, and I probably going into your next question a little bit, but we have a newsletter that goes out every week to loyal Blue Moon shoppers.
Okay.
So really, between estatesales.net, and we'll put a sale up on estatesales.net and get over 10,000 clicks.
Oh, wow.
So we really do
get
good. A lot of viewers through estatesales.net for shoppers, and that's where people looking to hold estate sales can find us as well. But so really online, social media. We're advertising. If it makes sense for wherever the home is, we will advertise locally, for sure, to get shoppers as well. And of course, the day of, we have signs all throughout the neighborhood.
Right.
And so forth. And then, then of course, sale day. So we have people there, usually a 2-day sale, can be 3, depending on the amount of items that we're talking about. We'll have a team there of at least 3 or 4 people, security if we need it, to make sure that the belongings are safe, and go from there. But that's the general process.
Nice. To me, you're so professional, and that's what drew me to you. Not only do you have an air of professionalism, you have a process. And processes and checklists, as we've shared, are big to me. Yeah. But you also have the heart for it.
Yeah.
Which is really important when I'm selecting kind of partners for me to work with and to share with my clients. So that was really important.
No, I appreciate that. And that's one thing that, if you ask what sets us apart, I feel like...
That is my next question. What makes you different?
We're on the same page today. But generally, our professionalism, the fact that we, really treat people with courtesy, with dignity, and really respect that this is a tough time for people, and as much as possible want to help them remove any stress that we can.
Right. The other time is that it's an exciting time because they're getting rid of that house and they're going to go make their primary home, their secondary home, their primary. So they're moving to somewhere nice and fun that they're excited to be.
Oh, yes. It's very freeing for people, too.
It
know,
is.
And I sometimes get jealous that, I'm not going through the process myself. I need to go through an estate sale myself. But, it seems it's very freeing, and I'm happy to see that feeling in people. Of just being able to leave behind the things that aren't important to them and go to that next chapter.
It is interesting to see, because sometimes when I meet with people, who's emotionally attached, right, and who wants to direct where a piece of personal property or an item will go, and the others who just say, I want this, this, and that, and those nightstands, and you can do whatever you're going to do with the rest of it.
Absolutely.
And it's interesting, and it makes our job, I think, different each day. I mean, that's part of what I like, because I look at each transaction as a puzzle, and it's like, who are going to be on my team for this puzzle, and what is it going to look like? And I can, pull from the people I know, and that's another reason that I like working with you, is because you do have resources. And when we talk about selling a property, it's exposure, right? And you want to cast the widest net possible, and I really think that Blue Moon does that, not only with you personally, but also with the business and with the whole process that you have set up in order to introduce a sale.
Absolutely.
Will you just touch on, and I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty of price, but is it a percentage? Is it an hourly? Is it a by the job? Like what can we expect for pricing, or what can...
Yeah. So we typically set our commission rates as a percentage. So that it's a percentage of the total sale, and I like that structure because it's, there's something in it for both of us, of course. It's to our best advantage, to our advantage as well, the more we sell. Right. And, that's typically the case. Now, I will say, anything we talked about, too, the advertising, the setting up of the staff, that's all included. So once we...
it's not additional.
It's not additional.
Okay.
And, so that may or may not be the case with others, but just to be clear, for our structure, once that commission rate is quoted, everything's included. There won't be any surprises.
Okay, nice. And do you have, obviously, some material that talks about what's included?
We do.
Okay, good.
But typically, yes, we absolutely could go into that further, but generally it's the staffing and, advertising.
So let's talk about logistics. Because this is good that we can categorize and group items together, and we can advertise the sale and work with the family. But sale day, and then what's after sale day?
Sure.
What does it look like? Do you so you'd end on I'm a process person, so you would end, if it were a Friday, Saturday sale, then what happens to all the leftover personal property, and is that your responsibility, and does somebody come clean, or do they not? I mean, everybody's different, but...
Yep. So typically we have already discussed that with the client in terms of what they would like and what they would expect when the house, when the sale is over, rather. And some would like us just to leave it as is, but most they want a clean house because they are getting ready to move on to that next
Realtors would like a
chapter.
clean house.
Yeah, realtors definitely want a clean house. Exactly. And so we will first work with some charities. Where possible, we absolutely want to make sure that things can be donated. So there are some that we, in the North Shore, that we work with that will come in and box things up. Always looking for great partners. The next step is then working with clean-out companies. And again, there's others. We love to work with clean-out companies that are eco-friendly. So the ones that are still going to look for homes for items, that will donate, that will reuse, even potentially resell, so that at the end of the day, our goal is to have as much, or as little rather, going to landfills as possible.
Right.
And we know that's the goal of our homeowners in most cases too.
Yes.
So we help facilitate that entire process
I
with the
love
goal of
Reason
the home being
117.
empty. And it can happen pretty quickly. I didn't touch on that. Is, this whole process can happen within a couple of weeks, where we get ready for a sale, have a sale, work with the clean out companies, and the home is empty within a few weeks.
Okay, that's awesome to know also. Because when I sit with a seller, I'll come up with a 30-day calendar, give or take. From when we sign, we'll look at what needs to happen to the property, and we factor that in so that we can plot it out, kind of a sale day, cleanup day. We give a day or two, photos, and then all the marketing and everything kind of comes together. I love it when, that's okay. I just love it when you pass the baton to me. When I meet with them in the beginning, introduce you, you meet with them and go over your process, and then pass the baton back to me, and then I take it, and it works well. So,
we'll often, because you think a few hundred people could be walking through the house, we'll often get names of people that are interested, or we'll ask about the house too, and that'll be something that we can continue to work on, you and I, and passing on those names and leads for buyers as well.
It's just an exciting time, I think, when there is not a lot of inventory and people see an estate sale, they get all excited. And anyway, so is there anything else you wanted to add? I think it kind of covers it.
Yeah, I think we've covered all of the basics. Would want to just encourage people to reach out. I mean, often people aren't sure if they have enough for a estate sale. That, people often feel like their things aren't enough. But let's have that conversation.
Okay.
And we can we have a website which folks can look at as well. It's Blue Moon Estate Sales Chicago North Shore, and gives a lot more information on what you can sell during an estate sale.
And that's a good place to find you,
yes,
Jane.
It absolutely is. Our website. We are also on Facebook, on Instagram. That's all under Blue Moon Estate Sales Chicago North Shore. You can find us on Google.
Okay.
But yeah, I encourage just big or small the inquiries, and I can always talk through it with somebody who may be interested in having a sale.
Awesome.
And of course, we love shoppers too.
Yeah.
So shoppers should reach out and get on our mailing list.
Okay, good. Good. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so
I look forward to
much.
working more together,
Same.
and it's been fun so far.
All right, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks.